connecting. It's always good to see. So I thought I'd share some of that. The Fall Fest was definitely fun, very fun, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody had a lot of fun, but it looked like there was a lot of other fun out there. The hay ride and boat rides and just folks connecting and how's that picture there? Pretty nice, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. I'll get it. Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. How's everybody doing this morning? It was 47 degrees when I left the house this morning. Yeah, look, fall's here. It made it. It made it. So a little chilly out there. I was just out at the beach last weekend, and it was like 85. So, but it is a beautiful time of year down here. No doubt about it. So anyway, we have an action-packed agenda for you all today. So is this anyone's first town hall meeting? Welcome. Welcome. So I do town hall meetings generally once a month. They're on the fourth Thursday of the month. And I do another communication on a monthly basis as well. It's the second Thursday of the month, same time, 10 o'clock, right here in the ballroom. And that is called Mingle with Mike. So the difference between Mingle with Mike and Town Hall, the Town Hall is more formalized. I'll have a slide deck, PowerPoint presentation. The Mingle with Mike, I provide updates for the community, and then it's open mic, so to speak. Members can ask questions, and we just have a discussion about what's going on in the community. So welcome. Glad to have you with us. Welcome to our folks at home. Hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed that this video has the sound with it. We've had a little bit of a problem, but we are getting a new camera, and if it's not going to work this time, hopefully it'll work next time. So here's what we're going to be talking about today. Just going to jump in and talk briefly about the resident satisfaction survey. We have a few days left. I'll share some updates with you. We've got a brief sales update. Generally, Deanie would share the sales update with everyone, but she's doing what she does best, and that is selling homes. So she's tied up with an offer as we speak. Touch briefly on the Employee Holiday Fund. I want to provide an update on the elevator modernization at the veranda. A couple just re-communications, if you will, about some community enhancements that are taking place. And then I wanted to take a few minutes just to spotlight our culinary team. I got some pictures from the wine down last night, and which looked fabulous. It looked like it was just a great evening from a culinary standpoint, from the wine education standpoint, and of course the wine itself I thought was fantastic. So, resident satisfaction survey. So many of you may have already seen some of this information, but it is an annual process, survey process that is sponsored by V Senior Living in partnership with Activated Insights. That's the company that actually submits the survey to you. Anybody that hasn't taken the survey yet, you can still do it. It's confidential participation. And I just want to have this third bullet on the slide. If a question does not pertain to you, for example, about transportation, and you don't use transportation, just skip the question. If you don't use the wellness center, and there's questions about the wellness center, my suggestion, just skip the question. Versus putting maybe a 3 in there, because if you put a 3, it sort of pulls down the score, and we're not really getting a true reflection of what is going on in that department. And then anyone that does take the survey is going to be entered into a raffle or a drawing to win 1 or 2 prizes. The first one is a certificate for 2 to attend a wind down Wednesday. And then the second one is yet to be announced. It's a bonus prize. So we got some nice stuff in that mystery basket, so to speak. And once again, it started on the 13th and it ends on the 27th, so we got a few more days left. If you haven't taken it, if you need support, to be able to take it. We have some information in terms of who you can tie in with. So, and that is actually in the tie, so you can actually call our lifestyle department. So as of today, this morning, we had 74% of members have completed the resident satisfaction survey, which is overall a great number. Our goal is to reach 85%. And then if you cannot locate that survey link, please contact the lifestyle department, and then they'll be more than happy to help you out. They have a specific number that they can pull up for you that will help you get into the survey. It's a specific identifier. So drum roll please, this is where we are standing, and I would say it's quite the race right now because some folks have really been very competitive around this because they want to win the prize. So this is where we're looking at right now. And I said 74%, but this was updated this morning and sent over to me. So 79% we're sitting right now, overall participation. And depending on where you live, that's your participation for your street or your building. So it is quite the race. And I know many of you are thinking, how am I gonna get to the finish line and pull this off so we can win? I don't have the answer for that, but I'm sure that you do. But that's where we're sitting right now, as of today. So I feel really confident that we'll meet the goal of 85%. There's already some communities, if you take a look at the other 9 communities, I would say that we're sort of right in the middle right now. There's some that are currently sitting at 84, and there's some just a few points lower, right around 77, 76. So everybody is right around the same range. Okay. All right, so as I mentioned, Deanie's currently doing what Deanie does best. She's actually in the process of someone submitting an offer on a home. But currently today, we have 7 active listings. And you can see what we have on the screen, a little bit more than we've had. But if you're gonna see this next week, you probably only see 2 or 3 because there's some that are currently in process. I think 4 of these homes are currently in process with offers. So, which is really good. So the demand is still there. Folks are still very, very interested in moving to Tie Point, living in Tie Point. And for closings, year to date, we've had 29 closings, which is just fantastic. 2 more in October, 1 each in November and December, and I think those numbers are going to go up as well. So another strong year for home sales here at Tie Point. So the next slide I'm going to share is talking about the Employee Holiday Fund, which is a resident or member-led program. But I did want to share some facts about sort of how it was born in this community and the why behind the members that originally kicked this off decided to do so. So this fund was established by the first TCA board to provide members a way to show appreciation for employees throughout the year, their service throughout the year. Many of you know, and if for new members that might not know, there is no tipping allowed in the community. So in many ways, members wanted to share their appreciation, and this is what they put in place to be able to do so. It's this fund. It's members' way of saying thank you for all that you're doing for us throughout the year, whether it's in dining, housekeeping, maintenance, or any other department throughout the community. So once the funds are in place and they're prepared for distribution, they are made to full-time and part-time employees across all the departments that you see on the screen. So essentially every employee that works here, there is a select few, and you'll see that on the bottom of the screen here, that are not tied to that Employee Holiday Fund, such as managers, directors, and sales staff. But everyone else that works in the community, from Tie Point over to Broad Creek, is part of the fund, frontline employees. So how the fund works, so 1998 is when this was actually initiated, and every year since then, members have shown appreciation to employees through this fund. Donations are collected throughout the year. You may have seen some of the communications that have come out. You may have read the board that is out in the lobby. And actually, the funds are then handed over to the accounting department, where they're sort of put into a bank account and held until distribution. Each December, the accumulated funds are distributed as bonus checks to more than 160 hourly employees throughout the community. And the distributions are made based on hours worked during the calendar year. So once again, it's an opportunity for members to be able to appreciate the employees and all that they do. So I'm going to share with you some of the numbers that we actually have posted out front and how the participation looks for Tie Point. So the goal is 100% participation. Year to date, we have donated 147,000, a little over 147,000. And we currently have 50% of Tie Point independent living units that have donated. So we still have some time before the fund is closed, because then you got to start thinking about disbursement. So there's still many opportunities for members to donate to the fund. We also track participation over in Broad Creek as well, because we have members over in members that have lived in independent living that are currently over in Broad Creek, so we track participation over there as well. Their participation is currently lower than the 50%, so we're hoping to encourage them to put into the fund as well. Elevator modernization. So I wanted to provide an update. Many of you may know that the work down in the Miranda 33 to 39, the work is actually stalled out. And I wanted to share a little bit about what is going on down there, briefly on a high level. So probably about a week and a half ago, they had worked on the cab, they got the doors on, they cut out the section to be able to place a new panel on the outside wall where you get in and out of the elevator, and they were getting ready to hook up the electric. But when they were attempting to do that, they discovered that there was an electrical compatibility conflict between our current, the newer unit, and what we currently have to be able to create the connection between the two. Without going into too much detail, I'll share this, that these big elevators require 3-phase electricity. Currently, we have 2-phase, and we've always had 2-phase running up to those elevators, and we have a unit that is what they call out-of-phase, ATA-phase, out-of-phase converter that converts the 2-phase to 3-phase. So the elevator thinks it now has 3-phase. Well, that out-of-phase converter, what is called the ROMP unit, is not completely compatible with the newer units that are being put in. So that's what slowed up the process. A problem, right? Now they could hook it up, but they're concerned that if we do hook it up as is, they could burn the motor out. We don't want to do. We really need to take a long-term look at this to make sure that we have the right fix. So we paused, and Quentin and Cavalier Elevator and then Bay Electric actually got together, put their heads together. But we wanted to pause and ensure that we had a reliable elevator, that we were keeping safety in mind, and that we were looking at the long-term performance of the elevator. These are $250,000 projects. So they got together, they finalized the solution for this, and they were currently awaiting a completion timeline. But I heard this morning that the parts to be able to move forward are going to be here on Monday, or they will be here on Monday. The parts are going to be in today. They'll be back on Monday to do this short-term reconfiguration of the mechanical starter controller. So they have a short-term fix for this, and then there's going to need to be a long-term fix for this. So the short-term fix is reconfiguring the mechanical starter controller, which they're going to be doing on Monday, to be able to get this up and operational, then they can finally complete the elevator. There is a longer-term fix for this that is going to be required, which involves installing new converters and transformers to support this connection and the new equipment, which also involves what they call a soft starter controller. So anybody might remember in your home before you moved here, or even in your home here, a lot of air conditioners have what they call a soft starter converter. So when the power hits the air conditioner unit, it's not a hard start. Now, if you don't have one of those, you will hear like a big bang when the air conditioner goes on. But if you have one, it's a slower rev up for the air conditioner to start. So essentially, they need to ensure that they have the right connections via the converters and transformers to ensure that they can put that soft starter converter in there, or it's always going to be a hard start, which puts more, there's more wear and tear on the starter than you would have versus a soft starter. Also, the soft starter allows for less voltage and electricity to be able to kick it on, so it's an energy saver as well. So, I know that's a lot of information, maybe a little bit too much, but that's what's going on for Veranda 33 and 39. Quentin has been in touch with the members down there, chatting with them, talking with them to ensure that they have everything that they need as we go through this update. I'm hoping that within 2 weeks, if this elevator is going to be up and running, maybe before that. The power piece, I think, is only going to take a couple of days, and then they got to finish everything else in terms of the buttons and get it connected, and then we have to have the inspection from the township. So, anyway, I don't know if you all heard about it, but I do want to share here, so you get it right from me in terms of what's going on in Veranda 33 to 39. We don't feel that this is going to hamper the next elevator, although we do need to take a look at what the long-term plan means financially, and get our finance committee and our board in a loop on that. Thank you. I know this is hard. I think Quentin lost some hair. I'm losing all my hair over this. All right, so some community enhancements and updates are taking place. Window washing. You may have seen the team out there washing some windows already. Hopefully you've gotten communication from Quentin in terms of when that's going to play out for your home. If not, he said he was going to. Did anybody get that communication? You got it? Okay. So estimated completion time 1 month before the holiday. I'm glad that we were actually able to get this completed for you this year. And then we have the kitchen dishwasher installations to be taking place. Actually, starts on Monday of next week. So just a reminder, they need to pull that dish machine out. They need to do some repairs in the kitchen. And without a dish machine, we're not going to be able to wash china, glass, and silver. So, and it's going to mean that the cooks are going to need to push back into the back of the kitchen, similar to what we did when we had the leak in the kitchen earlier this year. So we need to block off that whole front area for food safety reasons. And so the kitchen's only going to have the ability to be able to do buffets. So starting on Monday through the rest of next week, it's going to be a buffet, our normal continental buffet for breakfast. There'll be a lunch buffet, there'll be a dinner buffet each and every day. Hopefully we can get opened up back up by Saturday, maybe not, I don't know. We'll keep you updated as it progresses. But meal service will have to take place on disposable plates and utensils until we get this installation complete. So apologize for that. It's not the best of not the best of dining experiences with using disposable plates, but it's hopefully only 1 week. Quentin's meeting again with the team this afternoon, just to ensure that we got everything lined up and we're taking the necessary precautions, and that he has a good solid game plan. So, did anybody get a chance to visit or dine last night with a wine down? Couple folks? So I wanted to share some pictures. Jessica shared these with me last night, and just what the menu looks like, what the food looks like for folks that may not have joined us for a wine down. They're really great. It's just a great way to connect with folks, sit down and have a great conversation, learn about wines, and there's really some great food that is paired along with the wine. So last night they opened up with this first course, which was a beet and chef salad. And you can see the extent of culinary detail that goes into each and every plate. So if you take a look at the painting on the plate, well, plate painting is actually the balsamic reduction, which is reduced down, which actually, when it actually sweetens up a little bit, because there's sugar in balsamic vinegar, it'll sweeten up and then it'll complement the cheese and the beets. They had it paired with a nice wine. The second course was a roasted butternut squash and a poblano bisque in oil, a little bit of cream on top. The third course was a duck breast that was marinated, served alongside of broccolini, which is that piece with the long tail in it, a saffron risotto, and a pomegranate puree. And then the fourth course was something very unique. I've never had an espresso crusted filet beef. Hopefully that didn't keep too many people up.
Michael, they're backwards. Because that last one had the squash blossom. And this one has the broccoli.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So this was the actual third course then? Okay.
Correct.
So that descriptor is actually this.
Right. They look pretty.
Yeah. So anyway, some great stuff from the culinary team. I will share that I did do some looking around the island in terms of, if you're going to go somewhere else to enjoy an experience like this, which is a wine pairing, event, you're probably in the mid-100s for an event like this. So we did raise the price in 2025 because of the quality of products that we were putting on the plate. But I mean, it's a really nice experience, really nice event. But why I wanted to highlight this is not just the food, I wanted to highlight the team and talk about the team. So Chef Jessica, John, Chef Ben, and the culinary team, I think, have really elevated the experience in many different ways. And as I was walking around the Rotunda last night, we had 4 dining venues going. We had the wine down, high-end dining experience in here, which was really top end. And then we had in the club room, the fast casual going on. Folks were in there enjoying a quick dinner. We had folks that were heading into the casual dining room, Calabogie for a meal, and the Magnolia as well. So if you take a look back 2 years ago, we might have had the wine down, and then we had the dinner event. So really, for us to have 4 events going on at one time where residents have an option to have a meal is just amazing. So then there's options for variety, there's options for connecting, whatever you can get in and out really quick. You want something more casual, you want to wear a dinner jacket, you could be in the Magnolia. So lots of great opportunities for dinner experiences here. And a lot of that did come actually out of the resident satisfaction survey. A couple years ago, when we got that survey, one of the bigger, some of the more prominent feedback was related to variety. That they just felt that we didn't really have a lot of options. So I know the chef and Zoran and the team have actually focused on Variety Dining Committee as well. They've been very helpful in helping us flush this out in terms of how can we how can it be a better dining experience for members. I think we've come a long way with the dining experience. I was talking to Zoran yesterday, and he was sharing that it's really good now, but it can even be better. And I think Chef Jessica would agree, because there is some limitations that we have in the kitchen right now in terms of our ability to cook what we call a la minute, a la carte, restaurant style cooking. So because we have limitations on our a la carte line where the food comes off for the two dining rooms in terms of refrigerated space. So next year, we're looking to add some new equipment that will add actually more refrigerated space into what we call the line, the hot line there, where you can store all your ingredients and your proteins and be able to cook more to order than we do now. So that's on the horizon. We're really looking forward to that, because at the end of the day, we want to continue to elevate the dining experience for you all. So I know Chef's excited about that. That is a fairly large transition when you really think about it. And everything sort of needs to be in sync from the front of the house and the back of the house, because if you can't get the food out of the kitchen, it slows down service, and then it really can be a challenge for us. And we've seen some of that just with the Friday night special, just trying to get a good rhythm around the Friday night special. So, and all that is really a la minute, very last minute, things to put together very last minute and quickly. The fast casual is the same kind of thought process, but when you get into the larger dining rooms, we just need more space to be able to do it. So we're excited about things that are to come in our dining program, not only from the culinary end, but also from the front of the house and the dining team. So I want to share just a couple other updates, and then if we have any questions, we'll open it up for questions. Mingle with Mike, second Thursday of the month, which is going to be November 13th. My slides are out of order. I got another slide tucked in between. So anyway, you got that update right now. Mingle with Mike on the second Thursday of the month. Hopefully you can make it, we can chat, have a conversation. I would be remiss if I didn't share the quarterly financial update with you all. So that was our commitment earlier in the year. Usually Sally would be here for this. She's actually visiting her grandson in Tennessee, so she's out of town today. But I'll share the quarterly update with you. So if you take a look at the results through September of 2025, our operating revenue year to date has been pretty strong, although you don't see all the information here and all the data here. We've had some hiccups and challenges. I keep fading in and out. Some hiccups and challenges with not meeting all our revenue numbers. But we've made up for that in terms of being able to save on our expenses. So it'll be similar to at home. If for some reason you didn't get a pay raise, for a year, then you might have to say, I might need to take a look at my expenses to see what we need to do different. So in this case, our revenue, overall revenue was $10,578,000, and then as you get down here into the bottom line, our operating expenses, we've done a good job in managing operating expenses. Some of that is a result of just being short-staffed in some areas. So we've had some shortages in dining from time to time. We've had some shortages in our maintenance department over the season. We've had some folks out due to challenges that they've been dealing with. We've made some other changes to our concierge. So we've shaved off an hour in the beginning and at the end to be a little bit more productive. So we made some tweaks here and there to be able to save a little bit of money. Our maintenance department hasn't seen the number of air conditioner breakdowns that we saw last season. Last season, we had quite a few challenges in our maintenance department, particularly with HVAC. That was probably one of the bigger areas that was impacted. So we have some savings there as a result of that. So as a result of that, and then you have the contribution to the reserve, which comes directly off the revenue, the percentage. And then you either have a surplus or deficit. So for the month, we had a $43,000 surplus, and for the year, $349,000 surplus. So you might say, well, Michael, what are you going to do with all that money?
Wash windows.
Wash windows. Well, you may recall that last year we had a deficit. The year before we had a deficit. I think the year before we had a deficit. So when you have a deficit, you actually have to pull money out of the reserve to fund the operating deficit. So you rob Peter to pay Paul, so to speak. So this money, the positive surplus, will actually fall back into the reserve, which is a good thing, because there's a lot of work that we need to do throughout the community, such as continue with the elevator modernizations. We still have roofs to replace in the community, and there's about $1 million, more than $1 million of other things that we need to do throughout the community. So it's good that money is flowing back into the reserve so that we can maintain a community. And then the last update, you saw this information in the Tide, but on November 25th, which is a Tuesday, at 10 a.m. right here in the ballroom, we will hold the budget town hall meeting. So I'll partner with Sally, and we will present the operating budget for 2026. So that's right around the corner. And since we are having that on the 25th, and a couple days later is Thanksgiving, we will be canceling the town hall for November. So that means it's going to be canceled. Now, when I was spelling canceled, is it one L or two L's? Huh?
Either.
It's either, correct.
One is preferred.
That is correct. I had to do a little research on that. So it's either, but in the preferred English is one L. Yeah. Okay, so we'll open it up for questions. Does anybody have any questions? And we're going to get you a microphone. Okay.
So I just would like to clarify, next week when we're having the buffets, we continue making reservations just as if it were in the Magnolia or the Calabogie?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes. While folks might be thinking of a question, we got Halloween coming up on the 31st, and we might have some folks that are dressing up. There's a little bit of a contest. We might have some employees that are dressing up. Matter of fact, next week we have a pumpkin decorating contest that the employees are involved in, and you'll see a lot of the department pumpkins in the hallway here, and they'll be asking you to vote on them. So, but anyway, because folks will be dressing up for Halloween that evening during the dinner meal period, we will have a relaxed dress code.
Very relaxed.
Can't wait to see.
Yeah, I noticed that all of the beds that had the flowers throughout, it's all dirt now, and they were beautiful. I know you have a system of replacement. It seems like extra money.
Yeah, there's no free lunch, right?
Right.
So seasonal flowers at the gatehouse are being refreshed.
Yeah, but they were beautiful, you know, they were really looking fine.
Yeah, so they do that, I guess it's spring and fall. This is part of the program that they do. Yeah, they look pretty good at the time. So
You had the mulch coming probably.
I don't know when they're doing the mulch. That's
It was
springtime.
like last year, I think it was before.
I think
Christmas.
mulch is springtime.
Yeah.
Is when they do the mulch.
The grounds look beautiful on the new side, really nice.
They do look very nice. Yes, the landscape committee has put a lot of effort into trying to identify the areas that really need the support of the sod. So, yeah. And then the other area, as you come into Freshwater off of Tide Point Way, we're still in the planning stages in terms of exactly what's going to be going in there. So we're a little bit of ways away from completing that one. Got one over here. I'm going to take a little poll while we're waiting. For for the members that lived up north in that area, there's a debate going on about lima beans and butter beans. Now I call it a lima beans up there. Lima beans. See a lot of heads nodding to lima beans, but I got a couple. Don't you call them lima beans in the back?
Aren't they the same thing?
Well, it all depends on who you ask. It all depends on who you ask. Chef probably knows. Some of our staff know. They did say that they were the same thing. Although there's a debate going on around that now.
They're the same.
I Googled it.
I Googled it.
Now, did you know there's a speckled butter bean? Yes, there's a speckled butter bean. Believe it or not. Everybody's gonna look for them in a store, get them on the Thanksgiving table.
The lima beans are the younger, smaller beans, and the butter beans are the more mature, larger beans.
Ah. Thank you. Thank you. So we had a question in the back.
Not a question, just a comment. I want to comment on cleaning of our driveways. An excellent job this year. Whoever is doing it this year as compared to other years, we're very, very thorough. I love the fact that they had a scrubber thing and they went through and they did a beautiful job on the driveways, and I appreciate that. And one other comment, over at Rock Creek, they have the pumpkins decorated for their fall festival by all the staff members over there. Unbelievable, the variety of pumpkins and the imagination that went into them. And they had a contest over there also. So I'm looking forward to the pumpkins that all the staff here are able to create. It's a great idea. Thank you.
Thank you. They were fantastic. I was really amazed at the creativity and the level of talent that they did with decorating the pumpkins. The administration team, mainly the accounting team, is putting together one, and I was there for moral support for them as they were putting that together. I can't tell you which one it was because you might vote for it. I could, but that wouldn't be fair, would it? Okay, well, thank you very much. You all have a good day.